Welcome back to Real Phonies, where we take a love for movies and television and combine it with very little knowledge about movies and television. I'm your host, Christian. Joined with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Joseph.
Yellow.
And Jehu.
I rolled my 12-sided die, and it came up snake eyes.
There you go. Appropriate. Dice, key reference to what we're talking about today, because we're like 2 months late, but we're talking about the Dungeons & Dragons movie, Honor Among Thieves, directed by those guys who made Game Night.
Yep.
And the Vacation reboot with Ed Helms.
I think Horrible Bosses also.
Maybe. Did they do that?
I think so.
That seems like it would be.
That appropriate, same era. Starring Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Justice Smith, Hugh Grant,
the girl from It,
the girl from It,
the guy from Bridgerton,
Reggie Jean Page. That's that guy's name.
And Bradley Cooper?
Well, that's a spoiler.
That's a spoiler. Right?
Not enough people saw this movie, I think, to be spoiling it like that.
It's fine.
Did this movie not do well?
No.
We'll talk about that too.
Yep. They're a D&D party on an adventure. They steal the wrong thing for the wrong person, and that person now wants to take over the world and turn everyone into mindless zombies. What do we think of this movie?
Look, it's going to come up again. If you've never listened to this podcast and this is the first time you've listened to this, is kind of a weird one, but hey, welcome.
Right.
But Christian and I are noted D&D fans. At least we watch live play things. We're both Critical Role people.
Yep. I play once every 6 months.
So we're absolutely marks for this, and I don't think there's any way for either of us to be entirely unbiased about it. That said, with my biggest unbiased glasses I can put on, this is so much better than it had any right to be.
Dude, it fucking kicks, man.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're in the middle of it. I'm just excited to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know what I was expecting going in. The trailer looked really fun, but I think it's hard to do something like this. I mean, not like D&D has a narrative.
Right.
So it's not like you're up against some kind of prescriptive thing in front of you, but there's just, there's a lot of people that know what D&D is and want to see the things that they love portrayed on screen, and then there's a even bigger quadrant or a portion of people that have no idea what D&D is and don't give a shit about that shit and just want a fun movie.
Right.
And somehow they found a way to do both perfectly. So, great movie. Better than Transformers.
I mean, I feel like the elevator pitch for this had to be Fantasy Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they made. I don't have as rosy a relationship with D&D as you guys do. My time working at a comic book store was sort of at this... it was sort of at the very end of the comic book speculation bubble where comics were as huge as they've ever been, and right at the dawn of Magic the Gathering. So there was sort of a warring factions thing vying for the space of being a loud blowhard in the comic book store. and that thing I said at the beginning is one of the things that we used to say if someone just started, because I didn't really know a lot about D&D. I had the basic idea and I had friends who played it, but if someone was just having a one-sided conversation with me about D&D, my comeback would be, yeah, man, I once rolled my 12-sided die and it came up snake eyes. That was usually a conversation
and
ender.
It killed, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, I'm going to go over here and talk to someone who's not you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I thought this movie was super fun. I think the cast is great. I think the plot is just dumb enough. I dig it.
Yeah, this movie is, I don't know, everything I wanted it to be and more. I think it perfectly captures the spirit and fun of a D&D game. The plot kind of moves a little bit like a D&D game. It's very true to creatures and spells and, all the stuff that makes D&D D&D, while also just feeling like kind of those fun, family-friendly fantasy movies from the 80s. There's almost a Labyrinth, the Willow vibe there to it.
I was about to say, this is not a type of movie that they make anymore.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And I thought there would be a market for that, since it's not. Apparently, I'm wrong. It only made $200 million at the box office. It actually releases on digital today. So, just buy the digital version for me so they can make more. Because I would watch 10 of these.
I totally would too.
Sadly, this will probably be the only one.
Almost certainly, yeah.
Particularly since, we're heading into our last Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Like, it would be good to have this franchise to sort of take its place.
Yeah, I mean, the real standout, I think everyone would agree, is Chris Pine is just so damn charming. He's so likable. He kills this role. And I think Michelle Rodriguez and him have excellent chemistry.
Yeah,
they
which
do.
is not a pairing I would have put together.
No, 100%. Well, I think partially, since we know so much of her as being from Fast and the Furious, I think we might pigeonhole her as being a humorless dolt. But she's not. She's, really entertaining in this.
So we want to go into spoilers? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know what spoilers there are really, but sure.
Yeah.
This movie's way better than Transformers.
Way better, yeah.
Way better than Transformers. Super fun. I agree. I'd watch 10 more of them. I didn't know it hadn't done well. I'm real bummed to hear that it didn't do well.
We're going to talk about it more, I think, but this movie is for everyone. So if you haven't watched it, just stop listening and go watch it. I think that literally anyone of any age, of any background, would enjoy this movie.
Yeah, don't listen to our spoiler sorts, even though, it's not like it's a super surprising movie.
No. The biggest surprise is that Bradley Cooper's in it, and we've already revealed that information.
But where?
It's formulaic, but in the best possible way.
Yeah. I do think, to your point, Joseph, about it being for everyone, I wonder if the D&D branding put people off.
That's what I wanted to talk about, so I'm glad you're bringing it up. Yeah, I wonder about that also. Just because I think there is, for our generation, D&D means something entirely different than it means to people even like 15 years older than us, and definitely beyond that. And I think there are plenty of people who would just see, the title on the marquee and be like, no, that's not for me. Or even watch the trailer and be like, that looks like a fun trailer, and then see D&D like, ooh, I don't know about that. Because, again, I think there is a stigma attached to it. So I personally think this movie probably would have been more successful if they just dropped the D&D branding.
Yeah.
And I also think besides, whatever... sort of geeky baggage Dungeons and Dragons as, a whole entity brings along with it. Also, it has the stink of a couple really shitty movies before it that don't have anything to do with this.
Nobody knows anything about those, though. They don't exist in any kind of popular consciousness for people to be like, oh, remember that other D&D movie?
I mean, that hasn't hurt the Super Mario Brothers movie, you know what I mean? Like,
that's true. That's a good point. But, the Super Mario's thing was so different than the original one. Like, you can easily see by looking at it, this is not that.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like that.
Yeah,
I am on record as being pro Super Mario Bros.
How can you not like a kids movie about a video game with Dennis Hopper as the villain, one of the most disturbing human beings who's ever lived?
Yeah.
I meant to do an episode on that before the Super Mario Brothers movie came out, or the new Mario movie came out, but we just didn't get there. One day, maybe.
I mean, I agree. I think, obviously, fantasy can sell in today's market. Post Game of Thrones, Rings of Power is just a year old, and those were hugely popular things. And I think, was this Paramount?
Yeah, I think so.
Saw an opportunity. Hey, we can have our own fantasy franchise here, and you made one that's actually like family friendly, unlike Game of Thrones and even Rings of Power, and it just didn't take off. And again, it's appropriate for all ages, and it's really well done.
Yeah.
One thing that I enjoy about this movie that you don't get a lot of anymore is fucking puppets, practical effects.
Yeah. All the different races and things in the D&D world were really fun.
Jonathan.
That's like, again, mention how I feel like, to do something like this, to take the name branding, you have to do some amount of like lip service to like the fan base. And I feel like they do it in such little subtle ways that are brilliant. And one of them is like Jonathan, because I feel like all fantasy names, especially ones that you're coming up with, are just like almost names, but not quite.
It was my favorite.
It's the best. And it just keeps saying it. It gets funnier every time.
When's Jonathan going to get here?
I mean, definitely that's the moment when I got hooked in, because, we enter into the story with them in prison, and, it seems pretty generic in the beginning. It seems like, okay, this is just going to be a thing making fun of this thing. And then we get to scene with the court and the puppets and Jonathan. And I was like, oh no, this is my bag. And I did it.
Yeah. It's absolutely Like, I think if you grew up watching Fraggle Rock, this is your kind of shit. And I did. So everything. The only like question mark when it came to the races that got me was that Dordic is supposed to be a tiefling, and I want my tieflings to be purple and gay.
Yeah. That seems to be the popular type. She did have a tail, which I didn't notice till like the last third of the movie. But yeah, it's still Keyleth. I don't give a shit what you say.
It's 100% Keyleth. Which, there is the Critical Role reference of fresh cut grass in there. But that's the only nod to...
I was positive one of them was going to voice somebody in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's weird to me that they didn't do that.
I even anticipated someone like Matt to pop up and just be like a store clerk.
A store clerk.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah. But, you know.
The tavern keeper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've wondered what, Amazon's plans are for Critical Role, and obviously Legends of Vox Machina is a huge hit for them, but I do wonder if they're also looking at this and thinking about maybe we're going to temper expectations a little bit here. But there's supposedly a D&D live action show being made for Paramount Plus as well, and maybe that's a better place for this property to live than in the cinema. But I don't know, I was really bummed to see it not do well.
I remember hearing before it came out that if this movie didn't succeed, it was going to be bad news for Hasbro. Has that turned out to be true?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I may be getting the facts wrong, but basically, Transformers, G.I. Joe, shit like that is not the moneymaker for Hasbro. It's Wizards of the Coast. And basically, if this didn't succeed, I think Wizards of the Coast is going to split. They're going to, become their own entity. Something like that. But
so, Wizards of the Coast has had a really bad Q1 of 2023 all around. This movie not succeeding, and then there's the OGL scandal.
Right.
Oddly enough, profit shares were excellent Q1 2023. So, I don't know it's as bad as people thought, but there probably was some anticipation after the OGL scandal that if this movie doesn't do well, but I think the company is probably doing better than people anticipate.
As we've learned, I don't necessarily think that the general moving-going populace and the populace that is consuming the D&D products are that big of an overlap.
Yeah. So, what was our thought when Bradley Cooper showed up? Because I had no idea.
I had zero idea.
And it's weird for me to go into a movie and there be a spoiler I don't know about.
There's absolutely no reason for him to be in it.
It's fucking excellent.
I was so surprised by it, I thought, I shouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this must be something everybody knew, and I'm just not paying attention to.
I actually had the same thought, even though I had been following this movie. It's like, oh, surely I just missed this on the cast list.
Yeah. And he's hilarious in that bit. He's so funny as this like little halfling, loving, tender guy in love with giant barbarian women. It's hysterical.
His cameo, like comparing it to like Bill Murray in Ant-Man, which was just, hey, here's Bill Murray. Mm-hmm. His serves a purpose. It advances a character. It moves the story along.
Mm-hmm. How do we feel about Hugh Grant in this movie?
How soon after seeing him on the screen did you guess that he was going to be the person who portrayed them?
I knew that before going into the movie that he was the villain.
As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, he's going to be a charming villain. Yeah. And he was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I said this on Twitter the other day. They announced that Hugh Grant is the Oompa Loompas in the Wonka movie. Right. I don't know what stage of career this is for Hugh Grant, but I fucking love it. This guy's just picking what... I don't even know if it's what he wants to do or he's just like, I'm fucking bored.
Oh, so wait, is this the one with Timothy Chalamet?
Yes.
Timothy Chalamet and Hugh Grant Oompa Loompas. What a fucking trip that's going to be.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
You guys have probably heard this before. There was this Michael Caine quote where a smarmy reporter asked him one time if he'd ever seen Jaws 4. He said no, but I've seen the house that it bought. And I think that might be the stage of the career that Hugh Grant's in, and I'm fucking fine with that. Yeah. It's pretty fun.
The dude that followed up, being Benoit Blanc's husband to being the bad guy in a D&D movie to being a fucking Oompa Loompa. It's an incredible run of Hugh Grant movies, in my opinion. And listen, I think the Red Wizards are fine. It's D&D lore. I just don't think they do anything.
It's
in this
my
movie.
least favorite part of the movie, in that I think there are probably more interesting villains you could have pulled. Not that we need them. I mean, the main cast is pulling enough weight, but I do think they're just kind of bland.
Vecna was right there.
I know, right there.
It seems like Joseph is the correct person to ask this. Is the greasy evil wizard chick in this a different greasy evil wizard chick than the one from Suicide Squad?
Oh yeah, I think so.
They look very similar to me.
Isn't that Cara Delevingne?
Yeah, it's Cara Delevingne.
I don't know who this lady was.
I don't recognize her at all.
Yeah. And the Red Wizards, if they are like a classic D&D villain, like their motivations are all right there. It just I don't know, it wasn't doing anything for me.
Yeah.
There were a few things they could have gone with that I think I would preferred. I was really dead set on the MacGuffin of this movie being a Horn of Orcus, and I was wrong about that, and that kind of pissed me off as well because I don't like being wrong. But yeah, I mean, I don't have much else to say other than just watch the movie a ton on streaming or buy it or something because I would like more.
Yeah, it deserves a second life for sure.
Oh, fucking my favorite part of the movie. I'm talking fucking Zank.
Yeah. So I remember, because I've never seen a fucking second of Bridgerton.
Right.
I was aware that this guy existed, but I remember whatever it is, a third of the way, halfway into the movie, he just shows up on screen. It's that must be the guy from Bridgerton because he's really fucking handsome.
He's so good in that role.
He's
too.
really good.
I wish he wouldn't have left them behind.
I was sure he was going to show up in the third act.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that because I enjoyed the bit so much that I wish he had stayed, but I can also acknowledge don't risk it getting old.
Right. That's true.
You left in it was still on top, it was still hitting, it was fine with me, but
leave it for the sequel.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe. Then no bard magic. They all have a class, but Chris Pine does no bard magic in this movie.
Is he officially a bard?
I believe so. He's got a multi-class, right? Because he was kind of a fighter beforehand. And but you have Chris Pine supposed to be a bard, Michelle Rodriguez a barbarian, Reggie Jean Page is a paladin, Dordic is a druid, and then a sorcerer. Mm-hmm. And he's fine. That guy's fine. He looks like he belongs in a D&D setting. Lots of name drops for classic D&D worlds. Either way, lots of fucking Easter eggs.
I mean, they use a lot of traditional spells, even though they don't call them the spells. I think they do such a good job of. I feel like this easily could have dipped into Your Highness, kind of humor.
Right.
And I
didn't think of that, but you're right.
And I don't fucking think that it does.
Yeah.
But it plays with the funny bits of the Michelle Rodriguez and Bradley Cooper thing. I mean, it's funny because she's a big, strong lady and he's a small dude, and it's a thing that we is in D&D that the different sizes of the races. But it's not something that they play on a lot, and so that's a funny bit. They do the questions with the
speak with dead, yeah,
and they poke fun at how arbitrary it is that it's just this number of questions. Yeah. I love the fact that they come up with what is kind of a clever rules bendy way to try to get into the vault. Mm-hmm. That they execute really well and just falls apart for no reason, and so then they have to come up with something else,
right?
Which is also very D&D. It's good.
The one big rule change that the internet got all up in storm about when the trailer came out was that you could wild shape into an owl bear. You can't do that, but fuck it, who cares? That owl bear is dope as shit. Yeah. There should have been more owl bear in that movie. Right. I didn't love her doing the wild shape through the city. I think that's a lot of people's favorite. I didn't think the CGI was great. I would have just preferred her to just be a fucking owl bear and stampede her way out of the city. I don't know. This movie it's fucking.
It's
fun.
so fun.
It's a super fun movie.
Yeah.
So you guys have mostly dated women, right? So at some point you've had to watch Sex and the City.
I have.
Not that gay dudes don't watch Sex and the City. They're just they choose to.
Yeah. You're saying had to.
Had to.
Yeah.
So I've watched most of it, and I wish I could remember who pointed this out to me so I could give them credit. But I was talking to another person who had been forced to watch Sex and the City, and he was like, "Have you ever noticed how much Sarah Jessica Parker likes to show off her armpits?" I was like, what? He was like, I'm serious. In every scene, she finds a way to make sure her arm's up and show her armpits. And after that, I could never not see it. It is just a show about Carrie's armpits. I was reminded of that in this movie because Michelle Rodriguez really wanted to show off those spits she had grown out. You know? And good for her. Man, I think it was a good look for her.
I want to add something here. I have watched Sex and the City with my wife, but I mostly have seen Sex and the City because I had a horny mom in the 90s. Just want to make sure that asterisk is in there.
Thank goodness you put that out there. Yeah. I was thinking as I watched this movie, like, do you think Michelle Rodriguez ever wants to be in a movie where she wears a dress? I feel like she's always in like a fucking tank top. I mean, yeah, and nothing else.
I've never seen her in a dress.
I know.
I can't think of a time.
I mean, I think I have seen her in one like on like red carpet events and things like that. But in a movie, no, she's kind of typecast. Yeah. Kate is unfamiliar with her. She's never watched a second of Fast and the Furious, and she was like, "God, I know her from somewhere." And I was like, "She's that bitch who got the DUI on Lost. She killed somebody and they wrote her off." I do kind of wonder, like, and this is a weird thing, but I wonder if her career had been different if that didn't happen, because she's really good in Lost, and she's asked to do things that she's not normally asked to do.
All true,
and that happens, and then she's just Vin Diesel's side bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I totally agree. Because, you know, in Fast and the Furious, she's not asked to act. She's just asked to say tough things and make faces.
And occasionally get amnesia.
Right. You know, but...
At least once. Maybe twice.
But yeah, I mean, she had a pretty cool character on Last that had built cool connections with various characters. And I would have loved to have seen it go farther. It's a bummer that happened.
Yep. Joseph, you got anything?
I got nothing else.
Jarnathan.
I'm trying to think. I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about this, but I can't think of what it was. But it was I know we said this 100 times, a hella fun movie.
Yeah.
Let's everybody out there get on board and help them make a sequel.
Yep.
Crowdfund it.
Yeah.
It's worked for us once before.
Yep.
Does this make Chris Pine the number one Chris?
Probably. I would say
he's
so.
definitely pushed above Chris Pratt. I feel like Chris Pratt is on the fall, on the decline, and Chris Pine is on the rise.
I feel bad for Chris Pratt because he's just universally accepted as the worst Chris. And, you know, at one point, everybody loved him. You know, kind of a bummer for that guy, but whatever. I mean, you know, why can't I think of Captain America Chris's name?
Chris Evans?
Chris Evans. You know, I think he was number one Chris, but I don't know. That spy movie he has coming out looks pretty whack.
He's kind of made some turds since leaving MCU.
I mean, immediately he did great. Knives Out, you know, banger. But then after that, I don't know what that dude's thinking.
He keeps making movies with the Russo brothers. Right. This is like the second one he's done, and they're not good.
Right.
And then Hemsworth, I don't know. I don't have strong feelings about Chris
I really have the least strong feelings about him.
He's probably the bottom for me only because he exists.
Right.
I think Chris Pine probably is at the top. I just wish I hope he does more comedy.
Yeah.
He's got really good comedy chops.
Well, man, I hope he gets Trek movies back off the ground. I really want more Trek movies by him. I want like 12 of them.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, bro.
I don't either, but
JJ does need a job right now.
Right.
I don't know what JJ's doing, but he should watch this movie and be like, I should make more Trek movies.
It's weird that he probably, at this point, has more goodwill with Trek fans than Star Wars fans.
Oh, bro, I don't know. I would say you're probably right. Trek fans aren't on the internet bitching about him every day. But him and old RJ, man, they just get it.
Right.
Sometimes listener of the show, Reagan Bell, said something about Last Jedi yesterday, and it's gotten like 300,000 views, fucking 400 comments of people just being like, listen, dipshit, you don't understand Luke in Return of the Jedi. Like, people just love to shit on Star Wars.
I have a great idea for the media. So something I've noticed, if someone on the right does something wrong, like fucks a baby or something, how Fox News always deals with it, and instead of addressing that, they immediately put up a story about an old bitch who still looks hot in a bikini, you know, which I don't have a problem with. I'll look at fucking Terry Hatcher in a bikini, but as soon as I see, oh, there's Terry Hatcher in a bikini, which Republican did some fucking repugnant shit? I think when someone on the left does something, the left-wing media should just say, The Last Jedi rocks. That should be the headline. And it'll get that sort of reaction where everybody will just lose their shit and won't even notice the thing.
Hey, look over there.
Right.
It's crazy. Star Wars fans are nuts. But I don't... Yeah, JJ probably needs to do a Trek movie. Chris Pine, I feel like, is kind of... Not, I don't want to say a B-list actor, but it doesn't feel like he's getting lead roles anymore.
No.
He's the lead in this, but like, who would have 5 years ago? You say Chris Pine's going to be the lead in a Dungeons and Dragons movie. You would not have taken that sentence seriously.
No, that's fair. I think he's a high level B-lister who has consistently been a shining point in movies that are okay or worse.
Look, it's the burden of modern movies that your success is based on what superhero movie you're in.
Yeah, I mean, his career got ruined by Wonder Woman.
Right. That's something we're in the pocket for, but we didn't cause it, you know? And I think that Wonder Woman was a bad pick for him. First of all, picking a supporting character when he's a lead was a bad move, and picking a franchise that shit the bed so quickly.
Are you saying he's being punished for being a feminist?
Maybe. I'm just saying, there's the old school Hollywood mentality of like, I remember Paul Newman and Steve McQueen were both in The Towering Inferno, and they both insisted that the other one not have more words than the other one. But Paul Newman doesn't appear till 45 minutes into the movie. So he just runs his mouth nonstop as soon as he hits it. And that shit was silly. But also, looking back, you can see where they're protecting their spot. Yeah. I don't know if Chris Pine really protected his spot well enough.
That's objectively funnier than the whole Rock Vin Diesel making sure that they have the same number of punches. Yeah. The same number of words is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Dude, the Rock and Vin Diesel, we make fun of that shit, but it's actually real old school Hollywood stuff.
Yeah.
Another one with Steve McQueen and Yul Brynner. Yul Brynner would always make a little mound of dirt to stand on in their scenes together in The Magnificent Seven, so he did not appear to be smaller. Like that's just, I don't know.
On the note of these actors being in comic book movies, I'm going to throw a curveball out there. Fucking Reggie Jean Page could play Superman, in my opinion. He's got this dopey, good guy. He's also in extremely good shape and incredibly handsome. And while I do agree with you, Jay Hugh, Superman probably should be white because white dudes need to learn the lesson of Superman. Definitely. I think he has got the look and the kind of spirit and character of the guy who could play Superman.
I mean, James Gunn has just this week said that the Ta-Nehisi Coates Superman is not dead officially yet.
Yeah, so it's an Elseworld.
Yeah, I think that's an outstanding pick.
I mean, man, Marvel has a sort of, Marvel has a lot of Superman analogs, but they have one called the Blue Marvel, who is a black dude, and he looks almost like that dude just walked off the page.
I mean, that guy is... Marvel and DC are knocking at his door every day.
Right,
I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
But
also, man, if you're going to do a recast on Black Panther, he doesn't look a thing like the dude, but he could carry that role.
Ike would think that's not a problem.
Yeah.
But...
Anyway, that's Dungeons and Dragons and Transformers.
We got off the rails.
That hit me like 3 minutes after you said that. I wouldn't have a problem. That's pretty solid. Over a second was like, Ike Turner? Is that a wife beater joke? But no, I get you now. Yeah.
What have we been watching the last week-ish, guys?
Well, I saw the Super Mario Brothers movie. It's pretty good. It is absolutely for children. Why that's a complaint for some people, I don't know. I mean,
people have just gotten used to a kid's movie also has a subliminal dick joke in it. They've gotten used to kids' movies are also kind of adults, and I don't think they should always have to be.
Yeah, this does not.
Yeah.
It absolutely is closer to Minions than it is the Super Mario Brothers movie from 1991.
Which is why it's making $11 billion.
Yeah, and listen, it's fun. My kids, I enjoyed it. I think the Easter eggs and stuff are fun. My kids had a hella good time with it. Better than Transformers. Everyone shut up. Some things should be just for children. On that note of things that I watch with my kids that I enjoy, I watch Mandalorian Season 3. I know you probably haven't watched it yet.
Well,
Did you finish it?
I'm all caught up. Yeah. Although I will say, I don't know why, but every single time I watched an episode this season, I was rip-roaring drunk. So I don't know. I might be cloudy on some facts.
Okay. I respect that. I prefer this season to season 2. I know that is maybe a minority opinion on the internet. Some things I really enjoyed. Din is no longer the main character because I'll be honest, I have no idea why Din was in this show after season 2 of Mandalorian. I really like the focus on Bo. You know, I debate a lot on, like, Joseph and I have argued fucking what constitutes as filler. People would say there's a lot more filler this season. I think there's a lot less filler this season.
I think every episode mattered.
I think every episode matters. We see real character growth, especially for Bo-Katan, in every episode of this show this season. Unlike season 2, where it was, hey, Din, go here and do this thing. Hey, Din, go here and do this thing. And really nothing fucking happens the whole time. Again, season 1 is a little too dark for... I've watched it with Austin a little bit, and I'm still sometimes like, I'm not sure this is really, like, for kids. The first 5 minutes, he chops a guy's head off with a door.
I know. Do you think about that as a parent? Because I just wonder, like... I know there were things that I saw as a kid that I think everybody around me thought were fine, but just, like, fucked me right up. You know, like, dude, I thought about going to bed for years. Right. And I like, do you think about that when you're watching things? Be like, is this the thing that's going to fuck him up?
I lived that with the movie Matilda recently, which I thought as a child totally fine. Yeah. Watching it with my child now, fucking horrifying. It is a terrifying piece of cinema, and I feel like I've given him nightmares by making him watch it, because I was like, surely it's fine. I watched it when I was his age.
Well, where I grew up a decade before you guys, that was everything in the end.
Fucking like Alien on the
Just
TV.
let kids watch Alien. Let them watch Predator. Let them watch RoboCop. Yeah. Can you imagine letting a child watch RoboCop?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed to watch it right now. It's so fucking violent. Anyway.
Season 3 is the first season I feel like I actually can watch with my kid. The first fucking episode, there is a green puppet space pirate man that I think is fucking awesome. I don't know. I really, really, really liked this season. Again, I guess I'm in the minority because the things I was looking for the show to be, it actually became. Those are not the things the general internet wanted.
Right.
But I'm going to still say better than Transformers.
I mean, I would say better than Transformers 2. I enjoyed it. And I'm going to tell you what my favorite part is. This is my favorite part of Star Wars in general now. Anytime a non-geek approved guest star shows up and geeks lose their fucking
Are we talking about hashtag Lizzo?
I'm talking about Lizzo. I'm talking about Jack Black. I mean, my thing is, you're not really mad that Lizzo is on it. You're mad that you're not. You know, you're mad that I've liked Star Wars my whole life. Why ain't I getting a cameo on Star Wars? Because you're just some fucking dude. And Lizzo's famous and gets people's eyes on the show who wouldn't usually be on the eyes on the show. And you know what? They weren't bad. They were goofy, but so what? And that episode had Christopher Lloyd in it, which fucking rules.
Well, that episode is a Doctor Who episode. It is 100% the plot of a Doctor Who episode.
Really?
No. I'm just saying. Right. I'm not saying it's one-to-one. I'm just saying.
I agree with that. Yes.
If it was the Doctor and his companion showed up on that planet and you changed nothing else,
right,
you would buy that that's a Doctor Who
episode. 100%.
And listen, this is massive spoilers for this show. Sorry, Joseph. Sorry for anyone who's listening. Destroying the Darksaber was the best fucking decision you possibly could have.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know, fucking good.
That's also, I mean, I haven't watched it. I don't have a lot of feelings about the Darksaber, but I fucking love that move from Dave Filoni of let me introduce this thing into Star Wars lore, make it super fucking important, cross it across like multiple different properties and stories, and destroy it. That kicks ass.
Yeah,
it's almost like, remember that George Harrison tribute where they do While My Guitar Gently Weeps and Prince just does the fucking insane guitar solo and the end just throws his guitar over his head? That was basically what he did there. He's like, I've created this thing, I've made you just horny for it, now I've destroyed it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
I do feel very vindicated because I have long championed that Heir to the Empire was the end game, and after watching Rebels, after watching fucking Bad Batch, all the complaints people make about the sequel trilogy, it's very apparent that that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I just feel very right. Unlike earlier when I was wrong, I was right about this, and I like being right.
So just today, just this very day, Swedish rock band The Hives dropped a new song, and it is fucking awesome. The Hives haven't had an album in over 10 years. If you're not familiar with The Hives, I don't see why you wouldn't be, but they were from the, sort of early aughties, new wave bands like the White Stripes and the Strokes and stuff, and they were easily my favorite of that crew. They just rocked a little harder, they were a little more clever, and they made 5 albums, but 3 of their albums are truly great, and the third one, Tyrannosaurus Hives, is maybe the best record of the aughties. So I'm very in the pocket for this band to be back. Speaking of in the pocket, some of the things I see in this might just be confirmation bias from other things I've been into lately, but I kind of feel like their comeback may have been precipitated by the success of Ghost.
I knew that's where the story was.
Everything comes back to Ghost.
So first of all, they, I don't even really... The fact that they had stopped recording, they still continued to tour, and I don't think that's a bad idea. I think the farther you go on, the harder it can become to mix your new material into the set. And no matter how much you love that new song, you're taking off another song that somebody wants to hear.
They paid to come here.
Right. And, some bands do that well. AC/DC. If you see AC/DC, you're going to see 3 songs off the new record and just the rest of the shit you want to hear. Some bands do a terrible job of it. Radiohead, if you go see them, you're going to see 3 fucking hours of the boring shit off their last 2 records and then 2 songs you know. So I didn't necessarily think it was a bad idea that they had stopped recording. And I saw them about, I think, 3-4 years ago, and they fucking killed. So, that worked out too. But this comeback looks pretty fun. First of all, it's the heaviest sounding song they've ever had. They've always had a pretty clean sort of no sustained guitar sound to A, sort of set themselves apart, but B, so you could really hear how fast they were playing. This has some distortion on it. It's kind of heavy and it's kind of dark. The Hives have always had a sort of lore behind them. What is the guy's name? They claim to have a benefactor that writes all their songs and manages their business. And his name, Randy Fitzpatrick. And the lore of this new record is the death of Randy Fitzpatrick is its name. And the idea behind it is they hear that he's dead, they go out into the woods to find the grave that he's supposed to be in, and instead they find some bloody demo tapes buried in the grave.
You love a band with lore.
Well, just the thing is, they've never, even though they had that lore before, they've never tried to build a story about it. It's just been an excuse to say funny shit during interviews. But I think they've saw this Ghost success and hey, we were kind of doing that. Let's fucking commit. Also, the name of the new song is Bogus Operandi. So that's going to be the best song title this year. We can all, as a people, try to do better. We shouldn't give up, but it's going to be an uphill battle.
Yeah.
But wait, it gets worse. There's also a new Ghost song. So Ghost is putting out an EP of cover songs. And the first song from it is Genesis's Jesus, He Knows Me. Either you guys know this song? It's a pop song.
Yeah.
And, rock songs have tried to cover Genesis and made it heavier before. One of those new metal bands tried to do it with Land of Confusion, and somehow they made it rock less. Because Land of Confusion fucking rocks. Ghost did not have that problem. This song fucking rocks. And the video is absolutely over-the-top hilarious. If you want to see a priest shooting an AR-15 into the air, this is the video for you. That's it. That's all I got.
All right. To follow up on your Ghost thing, I went and listened to their whole whatever album that Mariana Cross is on.
Right.
And you didn't tell me that they not only had one very famous TikTok songs, but got TikTok famous twice.
Yes, they did. And the other one's really the one I'm more in the pocket for.
The one that people set videos of their chihuahuas spazzing out to.
Or cats. They also do it with cats.
Yeah. I don't have a whole lot to talk about. One day I'm going to talk about all my anime again. There are some good ones, but maybe
this
not.
This is probably the longest stretch for
it's
you.
Probably. I feel like I overwhelmed for a while. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't know if you know this. but the John Mulaney special that you saw like 2 fucking years ago came out on Netflix.
I do, but I haven't watched it yet.
Well, I assume it will be similar to when you saw it the first time in person.
I'm guessing since he worked on it for 2 years after that, there's going to be more.
Yeah. But, and you know, he's had one of the strangest careers in comedy. Because I know there are like the entire special is like 100% from beginning to end about the intervention, the rehab, and the maybe a little bit out of rehab. There's like nothing else that's in it. Which is, you know, like a far cry from making just like, you know, a 20-minute set on Law and Order.
Right.
But like it's strange to me because I feel like there are, you know, a lot of people who, you know, either just got on John Mulaney when he, you know, really rose to the top, didn't do the backlog or, you know, whatever. Like they're like, oh, he's really fallen off. But really, the weird bit of his career is the middle bit where he was like, nice guy, relatable wife guy.
Right.
Because the first several of his specials have like a lot of things about like trying to trick a doctor into giving him medication and getting blackout drunk and like all these other things. And yeah, there was just like this weird period where you know he's talking about his like local dare guy. I don't know. It's a very funny special. It's very different. I don't love like addicts or whatever telling war stories from their worst times. I think it's fine for this one. I think it would be weird to not do it at all. I just don't want it to be like the thing going forward.
I totally agree with that because that's totally what ruined Mark Maron for me. Mark Maron always wants to talk about addicts and they're falling off the wagon, and you can just hear him getting a boner.
Exactly,
Like you can just hear him. He's like, I really want to fall off the wagon. One thing on Mulaney I wanted to say, you know, the Law and Order thing, you know, the bit he does about Ice-T, you know, realizing and stuff like that. I thought that was just a funny bit that he came up with all that dialogue. The other day, I encountered the episode. He's just quoting Ice-T. He says that Ice-T says that exact same thing. It's fucking great.
That's funny. But yeah, John Mulaney, what is it? Baby J, something like that, on Netflix. Better than Transformers. I think that is it for this week. Next week, in I think one of our probably least accessible things we've ever done, but maybe that's just my perspective because I'm out on it.
Fuck you. It's very popular, I'm sure.
We're going to do just you guys might talk about the rest of it, but I'm just going to do the 3rd season of Picard.
I think Hurt has started the 2 and never finished them.
I did episodes 1. How many is there? 10 episodes in
10
the first
episodes.
season? I did episodes 1 through 9 and quit, which I think is the most insulting thing you can do to a TV show. And then I think I tried again in the 2nd season. It's like, no, I'm not putting myself through. So it was very hard for you to talk me into trying the 3rd one, but I can't wait for you to watch it, Nips, because the main thing I want to know is, does it mean anyone who's not for anything to anyone who's not already in the pocket?
I'm gonna guess no, but we're gonna find out.
I do need to give you one piece of information.
Okay.
Before you watch it, which is that the Jean-Luc that you don't know, but most people would know, is dead. The Jean-Luc that is in the show is a fucking robot.
Okay.
That has all his memories.
Yeah, his personality. His memories. But that happens in the end of season 1.
I see.
I'm going to tell you right now, if they had the technology to turn me into a robot, if I was dying right now, I would be like, well, don't make me a robot. Make me like 25. And give me a very sexy penis.
Sir, you're 96 years old. That's how old I want my robot to be.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the only piece of info I think you need to know from the first 2 seasons.
I wish you just wouldn't tell me. I think it would be more fun not to know.
You would... Okay.
But here we are. But yeah, next week, Picard Season 3. Join us for that. But thank you, everybody, for listening. Please rate, subscribe, tell your friends about the podcast, all the normal things. If you like what we're doing, if you had any thoughts on Dungeons & Dragons, again, please see it. And if you have seen it, tell us your favorite bit.
Watch it again.
Watch it again.
I just found out it's coming out on digital. I will be watching it again very soon.
There you go. You can write us about it at realphonies@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at realphonies, on Instagram, real_phonies. Thanks to Zach Evans for art and Brian Velasquez for everything. We'll see you guys later.